Community Viewpoint.
And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host for this segment. And this segment, we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, Vietnam veterans. We have with us today Ken Murphy from the Kiwanis, and also Bill Dolan from representing the Disabled American Veterans, the DAV. They're going to be explaining to us what the Vietnam Veterans Welcome Home event is about. I have been sick for a couple months, so I just missed the prelude to this, so I just got up to speed on this yesterday, and I really want to share this with you. This is coming up in another month, so I'll just let the gentleman talk to you about that. Gentleman, who wants to begin on that?
Okay, so we're joining the Kiwanis Club of Pahrump Valley along with the public broadcasting system. Wanted to get on board and honor the Vietnam veterans who didn't have a welcome home ceremony when most of them got back from the war. Mm-hmm. So we have produced a coin that we wanted to give them welcoming them home. Also, we have some jewelry that goes for the rest of the family. That would be pins and pennants and so forth to help them out and understand welcome home, because they suffer as much or more than the people who are gone in this time frame. So in conjunction with DAV, in conjunction with Veterans of Foreign Wars, Valley Electric, PBS from Las Vegas, we want to offer them a time frame to do this. It's going to be March the 29th here at Valley Electric's Community Center.
And that's just east of the office over there.
Correct. Yeah, it's in the conference center, the old building that you used to have. We'll be having the ceremony from 1 to 2 will be the information time frame, when veterans who aren't familiar with all the things that they can receive information, where to go, how to get things that they haven't known about in the past. Mm-hmm. We'll offer them this time frame to come in and then find out from the people who can help them find things they didn't know that they could have access to. Then from 2 to 3 will be the actual award ceremony, giving each one of them their coin, welcoming them home, and then the pennants for the families and the pins.
Oh, interesting. There are a lot of Vietnam veterans here. There are a lot of veterans here, so you should have a good turnout as long as we can get the word out to the folks.
That's the idea.
The men and the women. Let's not forget that.
Correct.
Yes. And the DAV also will be a big part of this?
The DAV is a big part of this. Our service officers will be on hand to talk to folks, mm-hmm. along with Brandy from the county, and they will be able to take appointments for to be seen, where they can sit down in private and talk. As Ken mentioned too, they're not only will the Vietnam veterans receive the Welcome Home coin, which was commissioned by Congress for the 50th mm-hmm. anniversary, but what's really special about this one is they're including the wives or spouses who will be receiving a pin as well, which is specifically for them, thanking them for what they've gone through and put up with, and a lot of them are independent caregivers.
Yes.
Who give up a lot to take care of veterans who have the real need. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the PBS coin, which is, I just was blown away when I saw it. It was a very lovely coin, and it's and everybody will receive one of those.
So where did that come from? How did that come about?
Well,
PBS.
PBS actually decided this was a good thing to do, so they've actually purchased the coins in conjunction with Kiwanis clubs in Las Vegas. Oh. And that's something that we'd like to make sure everybody gets one.
Yes. This is a nationwide, is it?
It's statewide.
Statewide? Okay.
Right. And so this has happened already here. During this 2 to 3 o'clock ceremony, there's a time frame that we would like to have 1 minute of silence for the members who didn't make it back. Mm-hmm. And that will be statewide. We're trying to coordinate the effort throughout the entire state at the same time.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm catching up with this because, like I said, I was sure. sick for a while. But yeah, this is very well received by me already because I'm overwhelmed by it, and that's why I want to get the word out to everybody that I can. You do a lot. You do with the Kiwanis. What are some of the other things that you're noted for?
Well, in this town, one of the largest things we do is Food for Thought program. It originally started some years ago. Our foundation was able to take it over. We actually provide weekend food for the children whose families can't provide for them. Today we're feeding 210 children for the weekend every week. That's about 2,000 pounds of food a week we put out.
So I deliver for the Nye County Coalition the food. Is that the same thing?
No, we go to all the schools.
Okay.
Today we delivered the food to all the schools.
Okay.
Some of it was handed out today. Some will be handed out tomorrow for the kids for the weekend.
Okay.
So for every weekend, since they've been in school until they're out of school, we deliver almost 2,000 pounds to every single school combined to make sure that the kids who's been identified as having lack of nutrition, they come to school, they're kind of tired, they're hungry, waiting for food, that they need this on the weekends because they don't have it. So we spend about $60,000 a year on it.
And where does that money come from?
Some of it's from the foundation in Las Vegas that through Three Square. We
Okay.
also spend another couple of $1,000s every month from money that's been donated from generous people in the town, as well as from Valley Electric, some of our own donated monies, and so forth from our friends.
And they're here also. We'll be using their facility. You'll be using their facility.
Valley Electric is very generous. in
Very,
this
very
case.
generous, yes. So that's very well thought of. I'm thinking about them right now. The DAV, so the Disabled American Veterans, the group, the DAV, a lot of them are Vietnam veterans now. They're Vietnam veterans and Korean veterans.
We still have a few Korean veterans, World War II veterans, Vietnam veterans.
Okay.
We're starting to try and promote different activities that will bring the younger men and women that are coming back from the conflict overseas to get them interested, to show them what is available for them. It's very difficult because if you remember back when we all came home, you had families.
Yes.
You know, a lot of families went to two-family incomes. Then you had children, and they have events. It's very hard to fit it in. So all the service organizations are having to get very creative on how to do different things. We always sponsor into items like this along with Valley Electric and the Kiwanis Club. If we're asked to, we also do an event for veterans that Southern Manaskison sponsors every year.
Okay.
You know, there's a stand down that's held every year. We have the DAV holds a picnic, which is open to all veterans, which is free to veterans. So we do quite a bit in the community. But I would like to touch on one last thing as far as this event that's coming up on March 29th. It says, you'll see on the flyer, it says, please register at. And it takes about 15 seconds for you to register.
Oh, there's the flyer there.
Yeah, if you go to vegaspbs.org/workforce/gold-events, you'll be able to register. We would like to have as many people register as possible prior to the event so that the PBS knows how many coins to obtain to bring out, because we do not want to leave anybody out. We do not want to leave any spouses out. Again, I just think it's fantastic that we're finally including the spouses in on this.
Yes, because in the past they were left out for whatever reason.
Correct.
And it's a new day and age also. Plus, in the armed forces, there are many more women going out there and fighting.
Yes.
Alongside the males.
And a lot of the veterans that are returning from the conflicts around the world, they don't realize that they have the problems yet. It's as you start to get older, you realize that some of the problems you start to have are from your time in the service.
Yes.
And we have wonderful service officers here for Disabled American Veterans over at the hospital.
And who is that?
That's Bob Hammond. He is the senior chapter service officer. And we have 4 other ones that are there. We're trying to keep that space open as much as possible for folks to go in. It is on a first come, first serve. I do know Bob is there continually on Wednesday except for lunch. But he puts 8 to 9 hours in over there every Wednesday.
When I deliver papers or things like that, I go in there and I trade the papers for a donut and coffee.
Yes.
So, but that's all volunteer. And, it's hard to believe, but working at the coalition, Nye Communities Coalition, we would take in, we would communicate with some veterans. There's some veterans don't realize they have benefits yet for some reason. When I came out of the service, I made sure I was in Illinois at the time, and Nevada's got the same thing for schooling. Either on the federal level or in the state level, you have schooling benefits, and it's still that way. And I made sure I used those benefits throughout my life because it was due me. And I had an apprenticeship that just started before I went into the service. When I came back out, it was guaranteed that I had to have that, and I'm just very thankful. The legislation was there for service people to go back and have the same job that they left with. And then I finished that apprenticeship, and thankfully I had a very good job the rest of my life, minus the time that I had in Vietnam.
Right.
But, yeah. But I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming here and explaining this to us. Now, this is a one-time only event.
Correct.
And it's put on by, you see the flyer that we had up there. And we'll have those out like at the library and different places, the senior center, places that people can view them. I'm sure that somebody will go to the commissioners meeting and bring that up at the public comment or something. But I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Do you have any last thoughts before we leave?
No, just please register and come out and find out what's available for you as a way of, as far as benefits.
So, folks, you're more than welcome to come there. And veterans, make sure the spouses are told that they are a very integrated part of this. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. You can cut that last part out.
Community Viewpoint.